Okay, settling in everybody. Just rubbing the top of the thighs just to relax down the tops of the legs, the knees, the thighs. You don't want to be hanging up here, so grab a pillow and stick them under your knees there, just so your legs are nice and relaxed. The pillow behind you just to tilt the pelvis forward slightly, just so you're not slumping through the lower back. And then we take our attention to the breath as it moves in and out of the body, inhaling through the nose, out through the nose. Taking some nice, long, slow, deep, beautiful breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Just allowing the body to fill up with beautiful prana, the life force, the vital energy. As we inhale, the belly fills up, diaphragm presses down on the belly expands, the rib cage opens up, the chest rises. And then as you exhale in reverse, the chest contracts, the rib cage draws in, the belly moves towards the spine, navel towards the spine. Just continuing to breathe in this manner as we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, our relaxation response in the body and our nervous system. Taking the hands wherever they feel comfortable. Palms up, palms down. Just relaxing here. Taking some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Maybe trying to lengthen the inhale. Deepen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Counting the breath. Inhaling through the nose. Maybe sighing out through the mouth. Just letting it all go as you move through your practice today, just making sure you can maintain that steady breath. Your body will soon tell you if your breath becomes laboured or staggered, then come out of the pose gently with awareness. And then move back in and just find your edge. You don't want to move too deeply into postures. Straight away. Just letting the body invite you in. Once you've got your grounding, once you're nice and steady in your posture, all your muscles are activated that need to be activated. Okay. Inhaling the chin to the sky on the inhale. Exhaling chin to chest. Just flexing, extending through the back of the neck, front of the throat. Exhaling. A few more times, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Next time you come up through center, just pausing here, chin parallel to the mat. We'll look out over the right shoulder, keeping the shoulders in line, exhaling back to center, inhaling to the left side, exhaling back to center, inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. A few more times on each side. Just feeling that beautiful stretch into the neck, getting a bit of a shoulder workout here as well. One more time on each side. Then next time we come through heart center, we'll just bow the chin to the chest, the fingertips and palms gently touching, thumbs pressing up against the sternum. Just bowing the chin, just taking a few moments here to just give love and gratitude to ourselves and our bodies for coming to practice. Thank you for taking the time. And then hands on the knees and we'll bow down to Mother Earth. Staying down low here. Keeping the hands on the knees, elbows in nice and tight. And then just running the hands beside the ears and then forward. Just relaxing here. Forehead's on the mat, or you can make two fists, one on top of the other. support the head here, or you can just stay on the forearms if that's as far as you get. And then from here we're just going to relaxing through the lower back, relaxing through the hips. And then as you walk the hands back towards you on the inhale, we're going to walk our hands across to the right. The hands are either side of the knees. Then we're going to lengthen out through the torso. And then we're just going to drape our body over the thigh there. And so the right arm's out wide, maybe crossing the left wrist over the right, head in between the arms. Just let the head be heavy here. Just making sure the hips are nicely grounded here. The knees are relaxed, you're not holding too much tension in the knees or in the thighs. Feeling that beautiful stretch into the outside of the body on the left there. One more breath. Inhaling, walking the hands back in. Halfway, we'll walk our hands across to the other side. Lengthening out through the torso, and then we just let the body just drape over that thigh. So, depending on which way your legs were crossed, you don't want that opposite hip to come up, the hip or the knee, so you just want to kind of press that knee down. Head in between the arms, crossing over at the wrists, right over left. Relaxing here, feeling that beautiful stretch into the body, outer body, down through the hips, probably down through the kneecaps as well, or the fascia, or the deep connective tissues, all one extracellular matrix that combines to form a frame around our body. Besides the skeletal system, that's the thing that keeps everything intact. Inhaling, rising up. Coming back through centre, walk the hands back in, interlace the fingers behind the back, keeping the legs crossed over. Actually, we'll cross them over the opposite way, so sorry, just before you do that, cross them over the opposite way. And then from here, interlace the fingers, pressing the knuckles down towards the mat, down and away from you. Chest forward, shoulders back, shoulder blades together. Chin to the sky, and then we'll just fold forward. Wherever you get to today, see if you can get those arms or those fingers a little bit further back above the head. A few more breaths, relaxing as much as you can. Maybe bringing the arms, maybe just twisting it, or just making some movement in the shoulders a little bit, depending on what you feel like today. And then when you're ready, just relaxing the arms onto the back, and then hands on the knees, and then bring yourself up. Hands behind your back, just behind the hips there, and we'll just relax here. Tilt the head back, just let the head rest in that meaty, chunky part of the back in between the shoulders. Just relaxing here for a few moments. And then when you're ready, we'll just send the feet to the mat. So ready to come up into a bridge pose. So pressing down through the feet and the hands, lifting the hips up. Hips up as high as you can. Nice straight line between the shoulders and the hips and the knees. Tilting the head back if that's good for you. Fingertips are pointing away. Hips up a little bit higher. Keep it going. Chin to the chest. Just pressing through the feet, pressing through the hands obviously to bring yourself up. And then from here, leaving the hands and the feet where they are, maybe turning the toes out slightly, and we'll just drop the hips down towards the heels, feeling that beautiful stretch in the front of the shoulders. Looking out over the right shoulder, looking out over the left shoulder. Feeling that beautiful stretch, stress, the strain in the shoulders, some gentle, this is all very gentle by the way, you don't want to be working too hard or flogging yourself too early. And then coming back up again, maybe bring the toes in, tilt the head back, and then we'll come to sit on the heels. Sorry, come to sit on our butts, hugging the knees in, nose to knee, chin to chest, forehead to knee, chin to knee, wherever you get to today. Maybe balancing on the back of the sacrum there. A few breaths here. And then maybe bringing the shins up parallel with the mat. The knees are close to the body, toes are pointing back towards the face. The fingertips are extended out, the arms are extended, shoulder height or above or below or wherever you get to today. And then see if you can just take the torso and the knees away from one another a few times, just to feeling into that abdomen, into the core, building up some muscle strength in the wee. And then taking a pistol grip with the big toes. Elbows inside the knees here. Balancing on the back of the sacrum there. Chest forward, looking forward, always looking forward, never looking back. A few more breaths. See if you can straighten the legs up. Don't lock the knees out, it kind of changes the structure slightly. See if you can release the hands, keep the feet up high. A few breaths here. Maybe drop the feet down, arms to the sky without touching the feet down. Just see if you can keep the legs relatively straight. Just doing a bit of working on the hammies as well. Sorry, the quads. And then come back into happy baby. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together. You're still balancing on the sacrum. See if you can interlace the fingers around them. And then send the feet out wide. So you look a bit like this. So you're balancing on the sacrum. And then draw those heels in close to the body. And then take a pistol grip of the big toes. We're just going to bring the elbows inside the knees there. Nice long spine, chest forward, chin forward, and then we'll come forward just to feel that beautiful stretch into the groins there, into the inner thigh. Just looking forward, closing down the eyes. See if you can get those knees closer to the mat, pressing the elbows into the knees, just using a bit of leverage here. A few more breaths. Coming down a little bit closer to the mat. And when you're ready, coming up, keeping the left heel in, and then the right foot's just going to stay on the mat. We're just going to drop the shoulder inside that right knee, right shoulder inside the right knee, and we're just going to come forward. Maybe taking the hand underneath just to hold onto the foot, and we're just going to drop down here. Few breaths. So with the release of that foot, with the soles of the feet together, it's so much harder to fold forward. But once you bring one leg out and bring that foot forward, it's a lot easier just to come down. Still getting that stretch into the lower back and then into the hip on the right side. You may find some compression in there or some tension. Skin on skin or flesh on flesh, bone on bone or bone on flesh. Inhaling, we'll rise up. Come across the other side, left foot's flat on the mat, right heel's close to the body. Drop that right shoulder inside the left shoulder inside the left knee. And then just let yourself, so this, keep the foot nicely planted. You can take the hand inside the leg there and just coming down as low as you can. Just feeling that beautiful stretch. Inhaling. Then as you exhale, rising up. Inhaling, to rise up. And then we'll just, legs are extended out in front. We'll just do some forward folding. Inhaling the fingertips to the sky, pivoting at the hips, pulling the toes back towards the face to do a bit of a flow here. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, excuse me, I've got hiccups, inhaling, exhaling, let the hands touch wherever they touch down, just relaxing. Just let gravity do the work here. You can maybe take a pistol grip of the big toes, pressing those heels away from you, lengthening out through the torso, chin forward, chest forward, and then just let your body just relax here. Maybe opening up the legs a little bit more just to let the belly rest in between the thighs. Whatever feels good. A few more breaths. Coming back to the breath. Always coming back to the breath, the anchor to the present moment, just letting the body and the mind and the breath kind of combine to unite. Inhaling, sliding the hands up to thighs, fingertips to the sky, fingertips behind us, pointing away, palms are down. We're going to press down through the heels, lift the hips up. See if you can plant the bottom of the feet on the mat, tilt the head back. A few more breaths here. Hips up nice and high, nice straight line from the elbows through the hips to the heels, and then coming down, we'll roly-poly up to standing. So taking the hands behind the knees, we're just going to roll back, and then we're just going to slowly roll up, first onto the heels, and then you can stand up, come up, and then we're standing. Okay. We'll come through some sun salutations with some twists. Okay, just standing on both feet obviously. Or I'm presuming that everyone's got two legs. Some people may only have one, but they'll still be standing on two hopefully, unless they've got really good balance. Okay, so rocking back and forward. Side to side on the feet, sway the arms around left to right, right to left. Just letting the muscles glide, the nerves are gliding across each other, wiggling the toes. We're just making sure that all the energies, all the electrical signals and chemical signals can flow through the body to do all the work they need to do. Okay, standing up nice and tall. Closing down the eyes, relaxing the shoulders. We'll send the fingertips forward, up and back. Gentle back bend. Exhaling, forward fold. Line the fingertips up with the toes. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, we'll send the right leg back behind us. Keep the hands on the mat. Right knee down, chest forward, chin up. Tops of the foot on the mat, or you can tuck the toe. A few more breaths here. Maybe inching the toe behind your back just to give you a bit more flexion into the hip there, front of the hip flexor. And then coming onto the right fist, onto the mat, we're just going to send the left fingertips to the sky and do a bit of a twist here. Twisting, opening up to the side. Opening up. Maybe coming back onto maybe lifting the heel, maybe lifting the knee on the right side, opening up. And then both hands down, plant the hands down, left foot meets right into high plank. Take a breath, inhaling, exhaling. And as you come forward, shoulders above the wrists, you can either come down into knees, chest, forehead to the mat, coming up into cobra, or you can come down, bending at the elbows, and then coming up. Gentle back bend or whatever's within reach today. Exhaling. Down dog. Hips are high. Walk the dog. taking the feet out a little bit wider, taking the weight into the right hand. We'll just take the left hand to the outside of the right foot, looking out underneath the right underarm, pressing the heels towards the mat. Come across to the other side, walk the dog, take the weight into the left hand, planting that left heel down, right hand, across to the left heel, and then both hands on the mat, down dog, walking the dog. Then when you're ready, we'll come forward, bend through the knee, and then left foot forward in between the hands. Fingertips on the mat, right leg is straight, knee up if you want, or knee down, chest forward, chin up, or chin forward. And then we're going to twist across to we're going to come across to the left side. Again, left fingertips to the sky. And then left fingertips touch the mat, spring forward. Right foot meets left, bowing down, inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, down through heart center. All right, this time we'll do the other side. So inhaling, fingertips forward, up and back. Exhaling. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, bowing down, left foot goes back as far as you can go. Left knee's down, chest forward, chin up, top of the foot on the left foot is down. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees on the left. Left fist touches the mat. Right fingertips touch the sky, twisting here, opening up, make sure everything's zipping up into the midline so the knee's not hanging out too far. We'll do that a little bit later. A few more breaths. And then touching the palms down, just lifting the hips up slightly to let the right foot meet the left, inhaling. Exhaling, pausing here, inhaling, top of the inhale, pause slightly. Exhaling, knees, chest, forehead in between the mat, sliding through into cobra. Exhaling into down dog. Inhaling, left leg forward, do the twist. Exhaling, right leg forward. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, down through heart center. Taking the hands behind the back, just let the hands kind of sit on the top of call it the iliac crest, which is the top of the hips here, and we're just going to take the weight into the back of the hips there, just for support. We're just going to look up and back, bend through the knees slightly, and sliding, coming back up, sliding the hands down. Inhaling, rising up. Hands to the back. Inhaling, coming back, looking back. Exhaling, a few more times. Just go as deep as you need to today. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, folding down. And then we'll slowly, actually we'll just stay down low for a minute here. Uttanasana. Let the head be heavy. Take each opposite elbow in the hands. Just frame the head with the arms. Shake the head, yes and no. Pausing here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, releasing the hands to the mat, sliding the hands up the thighs, and then coming up to standing. Pausing here for a few breaths, and then we'll send the fingertips forward, up and back. Exhaling, line the fingertips up with the toes. Inhaling, sliding the hands up the shins, looking forward. Exhaling, the right foot back as far as you can go. Drop the back knee, and then walk the hand up the knee to the right knee, left knee. Hands on the left knee. And then we're just flexing through that front of the hip flexor there, walking the left toes forward. Back toes are tucked if you need to for balance. And then we're just flexing through this hip flexor here, so the pelvis is going forward, hips are going down. Feeling that beautiful stretch into the front of the hips there. And then fingertips forward, up and back. Whatever you feel like doing here, you can go eagle arms, or palms are touching, or interlock the fingers, make a pistol grip, temple mudra, looking up, looking back, gentle back bend, and then coming back. Interlace the fingers, keep the hands on the knee there, flexing a little bit more into the front of that right hip. And then keeping the left hand on the knee, we'll send the right fingertips to the sky, and then we'll send those fingertips back behind the right knee there, and see if you can just look back behind you, keeping the left hand on the left knee there for support. If not, if you don't need it, then left fingertips touch the sky, looking back behind you, and then coming forward, straightening that front knee, fingertips to the side, the foot here, hips are above the knee, flexing, feeling that beautiful stretch into the left hamstring. And then coming forward, just inhaling, flexing, extending, stretching, maybe lifting the back knee up straight as you can, drop of the back knee, and then straighten the left leg. Maybe come through that a few times, whatever feels good. Not putting too much weight into the fingers, just enough. You want to engage through the left thigh there. And dropping the back knee, straightening the left leg, and then just letting that leg kind of just lengthen out. Just press that left heel away. Maybe rubbing the back of the left thigh there, just to give you a bit of a massage. And then relaxing down, feeling that quite a decent stretch into that left thigh, back of the left thigh. And then when you're ready on the inhale, coming forward, tucking the back toes, lifting the right knee up. A few breaths here. And then what we'll do is we'll straighten the front leg, bring the toes to point forward, both in the same direction, so you're twisting around to the side, so we're coming into a forward fold, but we'll come up first, only because my hamstring's a little bit knotted. So we'll come up. So our legs are from front to back on the mat, the feet are pointing in my direction, hopefully, so you can see me. And then from here, just walk the feet out a little bit, so the heels are kind of out and the toes are kind of in a little bit. And then from here, we'll send the fingertips out to the side, shoulder height, and then we'll just pivot at the hips, and we'll just come down, keeping the elbows and arms in line with the shoulders, coming down a little bit lower, and let the hands touch the feet, and then relaxing here. Feeling that beautiful stretch into the lower back, into the hamstrings. There's fascia lines within the body. There's 12 of them, and the names are quite long, and the names escape me at the moment, but they're all connected, so in some way they're not maybe physically connected one to the other, but they all form part of the extracellular matrix, or the deep fascia that runs throughout our body. Lining the fingertips up with the toes, the elbows are underneath the shoulders or in line with the shoulders, and then pressing the hands into the mat, just pressing the hands forward, and then see if you can get the head a little bit closer to the mat. Maybe bending through the knees a bit just to relieve a bit of tension. Legs are as straight as you can, And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, just walk the hands out in front a little bit, and we'll just keep walking them out. So we're just going to do a wide leg down dog, walking the hands out, pressing those heels back behind you. Chest and head moving towards the mat. Pressing those heels back behind you. Continuing to breathe, and then slowly, inch by inch, just walking the hands back in, and then we're just going to pivot on the right heel, and then come onto the ball of to the toes on the left side. We'll come into the opposite side now. Chest forward, chin up, coming up onto the fingertips, so we've got a bit of weight into that thigh. And then drop the back knee down, walk the hand up towards the right knee, and then we're just going to find your balance here, find your steady foundation. Everything in yoga is about a firm foundation. If you don't have a firm foundation, then everything collapses a bit like a building. So as long as you've got a nice, steady, firm foundation, then anything's possible. So basically you want your hips nice and straight, so forward, and then we're just going to flex through that front of the hip. On the left, take the hand to the knees. If that feels good, sending the hands forward, up and back. Temple mudra, or anything you like to do here. Arms beside the ears, or cactus arms. And then you don't want to arch through the back too much, you want to tuck the pelvis under slightly. And then maybe coming back, tucking the toes for balance. Bit of a back bend here. And then coming forward, interlacing the fingers, placing the hands on top of the right knee here. So we're just going to inch the right foot forward, hips going forward, pelvis is going down, and we'll just feel that beautiful stretch into the front of the hip flexor there. And maybe keeping the right hand on the right knee, left fingertips touch the sky, and then maybe they come back to the back of the left knee there, looking back behind you, and then maybe right fingertips to the sky, just tilting back. Nice bend in that front knee. Looking back to the left foot, and then coming back, hands beside the feet, foot at the front, and then flexing that right foot back towards the face, straightening through that right leg, pressing that right heel away from you, sliding it forward on the mat, or as it grips the mat, you're pressing into the mat, and then touching the foot down, coming forward, exhaling, bowing down, feeling that beautiful stretch into the back, inhaling, coming forward, exhaling. Maybe as you come forward, lift the back knee up, and then straighten the front leg, inhaling, exhaling. All variations, whatever's within your reach today. And then draping over that thigh, the right thigh, touching the nose on the knee. Take a few breaths. Inhaling, coming forward. And then as you plant the hands down, make some room for the leg to come through, lifting the hips up a bit, and the left foot meets the right, and we come into a down dog. Walk on the dog. Walk on the dog. One heel back behind you at a time, bending through the opposite knee. And then we'll walk the feet towards the hands, coming into a forward fold. Letting the head be heavy. Just letting the body just relax here. The head's heavy. The fingertips are touching the mat, hands in front of the feet. And then from here, bending through the left knee a lot, the right leg is straight, left fingertips in front of the left foot, right fingertips to the sky. And then the opposite, bend through the right knee, left fingertips twisting to the opposite side. Staying wherever it feels good here. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Opening up. Maybe sending the fingertips a little bit wider to the opposite foot as you twist to that side. Twisting to the straight leg side. Keep it going. One more time on each side. Opening up a little bit more as you twist. And then relaxing down. Just taking the hands to the hamstrings, rubbing the hamstrings. And then sliding the hands, forearms, just touching the back of the calves here. And then bending through the elbows and just using a bit of tension in the arms just to pull the body closer to the thighs here. Then releasing, sliding the hands up the front of the legs here. And then we're slowly coming up to standing. And then we'll just relaxing here for a few breaths, swaying the body from side to side. And then we're at the front of the mat, top of the mat. Just pausing here. Fingertips forward, up and back. Exhaling, fingertips in line with the toes. Inhaling, right foot back behind you. Staying up high this time into a high lunge. Chest forward, just looking forward, slightly forward here. Planting the right hand down, just a twist to the left. And then here, see if you can take the left foot and the right foot to be facing forward. So they're facing in the same direction, so we're coming off onto the knife edge of the feet here. Maybe drop the hips down a bit. Drop that right hip down, left fingertips are touching the sky. Nice straight line in between the wrists. And then come hands in between the foot in between the hands are either side of the foot. And so just a few breaths here. And then slowly walking the hand up towards the knee. So the back leg is straight, right knee is right foot. Say it again. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. And then see if you can come up into Anjali Mudra, Temple Mudra on this side. And then see if you can send the left fingertips back, right fingertips forward, looking back to that left hand. And then right hand behind the right knee there, looking back to that right foot. And then windmill again. Left hand to right knee, looking back to the right foot. And then left hand's forward, right hand's back. And then we'll come into low lunge, drop the back knee, straighten the left foot, and then bring the hands beside the left foot. Either side of the left foot. And then coming forward, exhaling. A few more times, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, plant the hands down, lift the hips up, left foot meets right, coming into down dog. Walk on the dog. And so from here, we're going to lift the left foot up. Plant the left foot, right heel to the sky. And we're going to open up through the hips here. So open up through the hips, stacking the hips, bending through the right knee. And so the left foot is straight. Sorry, the left heel is on the mat, the left leg is straight, and looking underneath the right armpit, and you're stacking the hips, and see if you can get that right foot back behind you, and see if you can come up into wild thing. And then taking the weight into the hands, right heels touching the sky again, right leg straight, and then we'll bring the right foot in between the hands. And then we'll come up into the opposite side. We're resting here first, dropping into that hip, plant the hands down, coming up into low lunge. A few breaths. Feeling that beautiful stretch into the back leg, lengthening out through the heel. And then placing the weight into the right foot, finding a steady foundation here. Arms are out wide. As they come to the top, maybe temple mudra, bending into that front knee. And then sending the right fingertips back, left fingertips forward. Finding your balance here. And then the opposite, right fingertips forward, left fingertips behind the left knee there, right fingertips are high. A few breaths, and then right fingertips are back, maintaining your balance here. Flow a few times. And then when you're ready, we'll drop the back knee, left hands to the back of the knee there, tilting back a little bit or a lot, and then bring the hands forward, either side of the foot, stretching out through that front foot. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, bowing down. Inhaling, rising up, coming forward. Exhaling, and just let the torso be heavy on the right thigh. And then walking the hands forward, tucking the back toes, lifting the left knee up. Coming forward, just taking a little bit of weight into the fingers. And then we'll do what we did last time. So we'll send the right toes out. And the left toes are facing in the same direction. Drop that left hip. So the right toes are to the right, left toes are in the same direction. Dropping the heels down. Dropping the hip down. Looking out over the right shoulder. Dropping that left hip all the way down. See if you can keep this right foot where it is. Coming onto the left forearm. And then see if you can hold that right foot where it is. Feeling that beautiful stretch into that right hip. And then coming up again. And then making some room for the leg to come through into down dog. Walking the dog. And then drop to the knees. Knees are wide. Big toes touching and come into child's pose. Balasana. Just breathing here. Just let the belly rest in between the thighs. Knees are wide, big toes touching. Just come back to the rhythm of your breath, trying to find the rhythm. Maybe walking the hands out in front, letting the chest and the chin touch the mat. The hips will lift off the heels. Knees are wide. Big toes touching. Chest and chin on the mat. Arms beside the ears or beside the cheeks. Send the knees out a little bit wider. Feeling that beautiful stretch into the groins, into the inner thigh. And then placing the weight into the elbows, we'll just bring the hips forward. Excuse me, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up, dropping the hips down, coming into Sphinx. It's a beautiful back bend, gentle back bend. Big toes are touching, heels are relaxed out to the side, fingertips are pointing out in front, the elbows are underneath the shoulders, the the neck is the natural extension of the spine. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, just looking out over the right shoulder, see if you can see the left foot. On the inhale, exhaling back to center, inhaling left side, exhaling. A few more times on each side, inhaling, exhaling back to center, inhaling, exhaling. Right side again, inhaling, exhaling. Left side again, inhaling, exhaling. Hands on top of one another, elbows out wide, forehead on the mat. Just relaxing down, wiggle the hips. Big toes are still touching. Just relaxing here. Just keep relaxing. Sorry about that, I think my music stopped. And keep it relaxed. And when you're ready, bring the elbows underneath the shoulders again. And so this time we're going to straighten through the arms. We're just going to do a bit more of a back bend here. So straightening through the arms, whatever you get to today. Nice gentle back bend. Good for the spine, good for the vertebrae. Some gentle stress into those joints, into those vertebrae, into the cartilage, into the synovial. There's different kinds of joints, synovial, cartilaginous, and there's another one that escapes me. Fibrous, I think. I believe the head's a fibrous joint, believe it or not. A few more breaths, walking the hands towards you, just increasing that back bend. You want to keep your hips on the mat, the belly button's kind of touching the mat. Inhaling, looking over the right shoulder. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, opposite side, inhaling. One more time on each side. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, make a pillow with the hands. Forehead on the mat, wiggle the hips. Big toes are still touching, or in fact, if it's better for you, you can keep your heels out wide. Depends how you're structured. And then from here, we're just going to place the forehead on the mat, release the hands beside the body, palms facing up. We're going to bend through the right knee, see if you can take hold of that right foot. See if you can take hold of the left foot with the left hand. And then from here, flexing through the feet. And then just taking a moment here, as long as you've got the grip of the feet there, ankles or shins, and then pressing the feet into the hand or the ankles into the hands, wherever your grip is, and then coming up into bow pose, Dhanurasana. Lifting the feet up as high as you can. A few more breaths. Rocking back and forth. And releasing. pressing the hands into the mat beside the rib cage, and we'll come back into child's pose. Keep the knees together this time. Just counter pose for that back bend. Forehead on the mat, arms out in front or beside the body. Just releasing, taking a nice long slow deep breath in through the nose. Notice the belly on the thigh. Exhaling. Then when you're ready, just coming up to sit on the heels. Sitting on the heels now. So there's a bit of weight on the top of the feet here. That feels good for you, then that's good. So from here, we're just going to roll off to the left side, releasing the right foot. So the right foot's in front of the side of the left knee, so the opposite heel's close to the hip there. And then everything kind of comes into the center here, so you want to be nice and tight. You don't want to be hanging out to the side. So here we're going to send the left arm forward, just taking the elbow in front of the right knee there, and then take a hold of the arm, each opposite arm, and we're just going to look over that right shoulder. Beautiful twist here. As we twist, we're massaging the internal organs, looking out over that right shoulder. Maybe taking that right hand behind you to just prop yourself up, nice tall spine. Maybe sending the left fingertips to the sky, crossing that left elbow over the right knee, and then bending through that left elbow, and then just using that as traction to just facilitate a deeper stretch. Looking out over that right shoulder or left shoulder, or straight ahead in line with the chest. Whatever feels good for you. Twisting a little bit deeper on every exhale, inhaling to lengthen, to soften. Exhaling to twist a little bit deeper, maybe left arm down in line with the shin there. Then releasing, and then take each opposite heel to the hip, and then line the knees up on top of one another. And then we'll come into Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. So we'll send the fingertips out wide, and then we'll cross the right elbow over the left, and then see if you can cross the wrists over, coming into eagle arms. And then from here, elbows are shoulder height, hands are pressing away from the face. We're going to send the arms to the left, and we're going to look over the right shoulder, keeping the torso straight ahead, opposite side, a few times on each side. Inhaling, exhaling, beautiful stretch for the front of the shoulders. A few more times on each side. Continuing to breathe. And then when you're ready, we will fold down the middle. So arms shoulder height, so they'll come forward to the knees, and then we'll just relax over the front of the legs here, wherever you get to. Relaxing the head down, relaxing the arms, maybe releasing the bind if it's too much for you. Just letting the body just drape over the thigh.